A miracle is a moment, but a testimony is a lifestyle. If you don't build the container to hold the blessing, you'll lose it just as fast as it came. Today, you'll learn the daily system to ensure your breakthrough becomes a permanent transformation. My child, you finally saw the door open, and now another fear has appeared. You are afraid it may close again. You prayed through the pressure, endured the waiting, and survived the nights when nothing made sense. Now that relief has begun, part of you cannot relax. You keep looking over your shoulder for the next disaster. You are grateful, but you are also bracing. Listen carefully. I did not bring you through the storm merely to give you one emotional moment. I am building a way of living that can remain steady after the excitement fades. Before this message ends, I will show you how to create a daily victory planner built on rest, gratitude, reflection, and consistent obedience. You will learn why the waiting season strengthened your container, why feelings cannot become your foundation, and how small daily choices protect what grace has begun. Do not rush away from this word. The next season will not be sustained by fear of losing the blessing. It will be sustained by the person you are becoming while walking with me. Right beneath this message, I will steward what I receive. Do not write it as pressure to perform perfectly. Write it as a willing response. Stewardship is not fearfully gripping what came. It is caring wisely for what has been entrusted. You know what it feels like to receive relief and still feel unsafe. The account finally improves, but you still check it repeatedly. The relationship begins healing, but you search every conversation for signs of another rupture. Your body starts recovering, yet one difficult morning convinces you everything is returning. Your nervous system remembers struggle. You lived in survival for so long that peace feels temporary. You learn not to celebrate too quickly. You told yourself that hope was dangerous because disappointment might follow. Even good news made you cautious. I saw that. You smiled when people congratulated you, then went home and wondered how long it would last. You thanked me for the open door, then began imagining every way it could close. You received something you had prayed for, but fear immediately turned the blessing into another responsibility to protect. That is exhausting. You are not ungrateful. You are adjusting to safety after pressure trained you to expect interruption. Your heart wants to receive, but your body still prepares for loss. Be gentle with yourself. Yet do not let the old survival pattern become the manager of the new season. What protected you during crisis may become harmful during growth. Hypervigilance helped you notice danger, but it can also prevent you from recognizing peace. You do not have to live braced forever. The first thing I need you to understand is that the waiting season was not empty time. You called it delay. You called it silence. You wondered whether you were being overlooked. But character was forming. You learned how to pray without immediate evidence. You learned how to make decisions while emotions were unsettled. You learned where your limits were. You learned which relationships carried truth and which only carried noise. The wilderness exposed your foundation. When resources were limited, you discovered what you truly trusted. When the answer took longer, hidden motives surfaced. You saw where pride needed healing. You saw where fear influenced your choices. That was not punishment, it was preparation. A blessing can become a burden when the inner structure is weak. More opportunity can magnify poor boundaries. More money can magnify avoidance. More influence can magnify insurity. More responsibility can expose every place where rest has been neglected. I care about what lasts. That is why I strengthen the container before increasing what it carried. The container is your character, habits, boundaries, humility, and ability to remain close to me. You wanted the visible answer. I was also building the invisible capacity. Think about a house built on rock. The strength is not proven by appearance alone. The strength is revealed when weather changes. A beautiful room means little if the foundation shifts under pressure. I have been building beneath you. Patience became stone. Discernment became stone. Truthfulness became stone. The ability to apologize became stone. The courage to say no became stone. These were not small lessons. They were structural. Now that the door is opened, do not abandon the foundation that carried you there. Do not return to the habits that made the old season unstable. Do not stop praying because the emergency is past. You needed me in the waiting. You still need me in the receiving. This is where many people lose what they prayed for. They seek me intensely during crisis, then move me to the edge when relief arrives. They treat the breakthrough as permission to stop the practices that protected their heart. Do not do that. The blessing is not the end of relationship. It is another place where relationship must continue. Pause now. Ask yourself, which habit sustained me while I was waiting? Was it morning prayer, honest budgeting, counseling, rest, wise boundaries, gratitude, or time away from noise? Do not release that habit merely because pressure has lifted. It may be part of the container. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you next will protect you from living only through emotional highs. You have sometimes measured faith by feeling. When worship moved you deeply, you felt strong. When tears came during prayer, you felt close. When an answer arrived, you felt certain that everything had changed. Then the emotion settled. The next morning felt ordinary. The responsibility remained. The old thought returned. You wondered whether the breakthrough had disappeared because the feeling was gone. It had not. Emotion can announce a moment, but habit carries the transformation forward. A powerful experience can awaken you. It cannot replace daily alignment. Feelings rise and fall. Faithfulness continues. I am not asking you to distrust emotion. Joy matters. Relief matters. Tears can release what words cannot express. Celebration honors what is changed. But emotion is a visitor. Truth must become the home. You cannot build sustained victory around always feeling inspired. Some mornings will feel quiet. Some prayers will feel ordinary. Some acts of obedience will carry no visible excitement. They still matter. The person who remains faithful after the music stops becomes steady. The person who continues after the applause fades develops roots. The person who chooses truth without emotional reward becomes trustworthy. This is maturity. Beyond the emotional high, you must decide what the miracle will teach you. If provision came, will you become more generous and wise? If healing came, will you honor your body differently? If reconciliation came, will you practice honest communication? A testimony becomes a lifestyle when the lesson enters your routine. Do not only say, God opened the door. Ask, how will I walk through it differently? Do not only say, God restored me. Ask, what will I protect so the old pattern does not return? The breakthrough gives you an opportunity. Stewardship gives it endurance. Are you ready to manage what you have been asking for? Be honest. Perhaps you have prayed for more influence, but your schedule is already overloaded. Perhaps you have prayed for financial increase, but you still avoid looking at the numbers. Perhaps you have prayed for healthy love, but you still silence your needs to avoid conflict. This is not condemnation, it is preparation. I am showing you where growth must continue. Readiness does not mean perfection, it means willingness to learn, adjust, and receive support. You do not need to know everything before the blessing arrives. You need enough humility to keep becoming. That humility will protect you. Pride says, I finally made it. Wisdom says, I must continue walking. Pride makes the breakthrough an identity. Wisdom treats it as responsibility. Your identity remains in me. Not in the promotion, not in the relationship, not in the account, not in the result. When identity remains anchored, the blessing can be enjoyed without becoming an idol. You can celebrate it without fearing that losing it would erase you. This is freedom. Write this declaration now. My foundation is deeper than my feelings. Let those words steady the part of you that panics whenever emotion changes. Now I want to teach you the habit of gratitude. Gratitude is not a payment for blessing. It is not a technique for forcing more. It is the daily practice of seeing clearly. Fear notices what could disappear. Gratitude notices what is present. Fear says, this will not last. Gratitude says, this is here today and I will receive it honestly. Gratitude does not deny responsibility. It keeps responsibility from becoming dread. It helps your heart enjoy what your hands are learning to steward. You have sometimes rushed past answered prayer because another need immediately appeared. You received one form of help, then focused only on what remained unresolved. That kept your heart in permanent scarcity. Slow down. Name what changed. Name who helped. Name the strength that returned. Name the boundary you finally held. These details matter. Gratitude helps the nervous system recognize safety. It teaches your mind that not every chapter ends in loss. It gives memory a fuller story than pain alone. Create a daily gratitude rhythm with 3 questions. What did I receive today? What did I learn today? What did I preserve today? Perhaps you received encouragement. Perhaps you learned where a process needs correction. Perhaps you preserved your peace by saying no. This is abundance with integrity. It is not pretending that life contains no hardship. It is refusing to let hardship become the only evidence. You may still face pressure while experiencing victory. A healed relationship can still require work. A new opportunity can still include difficult days. Financial improvement can still require restraint. Gratitude holds both. It says, "This is good, and I will care for it." It says, "This is incomplete, and I remain hopeful." It says, "This is difficult, and I am not alone." That is a steady channel of awareness, not a magical channel that buys increase, but an open heart that recognizes my provision and responds wisely. Type Amen if you are choosing to walk the path instead of chasing one emotional destination. Let it mean you understand that victory is not a finish line. It is a daily walk with me. Victory is not a destination. It is a walk. Some days the walk feels strong. Some days it feels slow. Both days count when direction remains faithful. Do not call a slow day failure. A difficult morning does not erase healing. One anxious thought does not cancel peace. One financial mistake does not destroy every lesson. Return quickly. Sustained victory depends more on return than perfection. You will occasionally drift. You will become distracted. You may repeat an old reaction. Notice it. Repair it. Return. Shame wants one mistake to become an identity. Grace turns one mistake into instruction. This is why consistent obedience matters. Large legacy grows from small choices repeated. The prayer you keep, the expense you review, the apology you offer, the hour you protect for rest. Small steps look unimpressive, but they are building the house. You may be tempted to seek another dramatic moment instead of maintaining the one already received. You chase another message, another sign, another emotional peak. Yet the next level may be hidden inside repetition. Wake, pray, listen, act, review, rest. The rhythm appears ordinary because stability often does. Do not despise ordinary faithfulness. Jesus spent years in hidden preparation before public ministry. He also withdrew from crowds, maintained communion with the Father, and refused demands that did not match his assignment. Rhythm protected purpose. You need rhythm too, not rigid control. Rhythm. A healthy rhythm leaves room for surprise, grief, celebration, and changing capacity. It is a structure that serves life rather than becoming another master. If this message is helping you build a lasting foundation, subscribe to stay connected with future words that strengthen daily alignment, spiritual growth, and inner steadiness. Stay because sustained victory is nourished by repeated truth after the emotional high fades. Now I will give you the Daily Victory Planner. It contains 5 daily movements: anchor, remember, steward, obey, and rest. Begin with anchor. Before giving the day to noise, take 3 quiet minutes. Place both feet on the floor. Breathe slowly. Say, "My identity is held in you before anything happens today." Then ask one question. What truth must remain beneath me today? Choose one simple truth. I do not need to rush. I can ask for help. My worth is not determined by this meeting. Peace is available before the result. Write it down. The anchor keeps the day from carrying you wherever emotion moves. It does not prevent storms. It reminds you where stability lives. The second movement is remember. Write one sentence about what I have already done. It may be a recent breakthrough, an old rescue, a lesson, a relationship, or strength that appeared when you felt empty. Memory protects perspective. When pressure returns, your mind may claim nothing has ever changed. Remembering gives truth evidence. Write, "I have survived difficult seasons before." Write, "Help arrived through people I did not expect." Write, "I learned to say no without losing love." Let memory serve faith. Do not use memory to demand the same outcome again. I may work differently in a new season. Use memory to remember my character, not control my method. The third movement is steward. Ask, what has been placed in my care today? Perhaps it is your body, money, time, relationship, opportunity, home, or emotional energy. Choose one area, then write one action that protects it. Take the medicine, review the account, send the message, prepare the meal. Leave work on time. Stewardship gives gratitude hands. The fourth movement is obey. Ask, what small instruction have I already received? Do not demand a new revelation while ignoring yesterday's direction. Perhaps you already know the conversation must happen. Perhaps you already know the habit must stop. Choose one step. Keep it clear. Obedience becomes sustainable when it is specific. Be more faithful is vague. Spend 10 minutes in prayer before checking messages is clear. Do the clear thing. The fifth movement is rest. At the end of the day, review without judgment. Ask, what is finished for today, and what must be released until tomorrow? Write one unfinished responsibility you are choosing not to carry through the night. Schedule it if necessary, then stop. Rest tells your body that the day has an ending. It tells your mind that not everything must be solved before sleep. Anchor, remember, steward, obey, rest. These 5 movements form the daily victory planner. Use one page each day. Keep the answers short. The goal is not more paperwork. The goal is conscious alignment. You can complete it in 10 minutes. 3 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes midday, 5 minutes at night. Adapt it to your real life. A parent with young children may need shorter moments. A person living with illness may need gentler expectations. The planner serves you. You do not serve the planner. If you miss a day, return the next day. Do not make consistency another place for shame. Sustained victory includes the ability to begin again without drama. Return is holy. Now let me show you how the planner protects different breakthroughs. If your breakthrough involves finances, anchor your identity outside the number. Remember previous provision and lessons. Steward one account. Obey one wise action. Rest without checking repeatedly. If your breakthrough involves healing, anchor in my presence. Remember progress without denying current pain. Steward the body with appropriate care. Obey medical wisdom and healthy limits. Rest without accusing yourself for needing recovery. If your breakthrough involves relationships, anchor in love without self-erasure. Remember what healthy repair has taught you. Steward communication and boundaries. Obey the truth that must be spoken. Rest without replaying every word. The system stays simple. The application becomes personal. Do not copy another person's maintenance plan without considering your season. Their capacity, responsibilities, health, and resources differ from yours. Ask me for wisdom. Sustained victory is not sameness. It is faithful adaptation. A habit that served you last year may need adjustment now. Change can be stewardship. You are not failing because the structure evolves. You are learning to support what life requires today. This is especially important after a miracle. Excitement may tempt you to take on too much. You feel renewed, so you promise more than your capacity can sustain. Move slowly. Let the new season become familiar before filling every space. Protect margin. Leave room for prayer, relationships, rest, and unexpected needs. A full schedule is not always a fruitful life. The blessing needs breathing room. You may also feel pressure to prove that the breakthrough was real. You announce everything, overcommit, or push your body beyond wisdom because you fear people might doubt the testimony. You owe nobody a performance. Let fruit speak over time. A restored life becomes visible through steadiness. People notice that you respond differently. They notice peace where panic once lived. They notice boundaries, patience, and honest joy. That is testimony, not one dramatic sentence, a life. Stay with me because another threat to sustained victory is nostalgia for the old identity. Struggle became familiar. You knew how to operate in crisis. You knew what role to play when everything was difficult. Peace changes the role. Without the problem, you may wonder who you are. Without rescuing everyone, you may feel unnecessary. Without constant urgency, you may feel empty. Do not recreate chaos to feel familiar. Some people return to unstable relationships, impulsive spending, overwork, or constant conflict because calm feels strange. They do not consciously want pain. Their nervous system recognizes the pattern. Teach it something new. Sit in quiet for short moments. Celebrate ordinary days. Allow a problem to remain solved. Do not search for danger when no evidence exists. This takes practice. When fear says something bad must be coming, answer, I can respond if something happens. I do not need to suffer it in advance. That sentence protects today. You are not naive, you are present. Sustained victory also requires community. You were never meant to maintain every breakthrough alone. Find people who value process, not only celebration. The right people will ask how your habits are changing. They will respect boundaries. They will encourage responsibility without shaming you. Let yourself be known. You do not need to share every detail publicly. Choose trusted support. A counselor, mentor, pastor, doctor, financial advisor, friend, or recovery group may become part of the structure. Help is not evidence of weak faith. Help is often provision. If the breakthrough involves addiction, serious mental distress, abuse, medical illness, or financial crisis, ongoing professional support may be necessary. Do not abandon treatment because you experienced one good week. Let wisdom continue. A miracle and a process can coexist. I can move suddenly, and healing can still require time. I can open a door, and you can still need training. I can restore hope, and you can still need sleep. Do not create false conflict between faith and responsible care. Receive both. Now look back at the waiting season again. You thought the desert only took from you, but it also taught you how little you truly needed to keep walking. It taught you resourcefulness. It taught you discernment. It taught you to recognize false comfort. It taught you that my presence remained when familiar support disappeared. Those lessons are not meant to keep you in the desert. They are meant to help you steward the garden. The skills of survival must now become the wisdom of cultivation. In survival, you can serve. In cultivation, you plant, tend, prune, and wait. The season changed. Your posture must change too. You do not need to guard every resource as though famine is permanent. You can use wisdom without living in terror. You can give while maintaining healthy limits. You can plan without worshiping control. This is mature abundance, not endless acquisition. Enoughness, peace, purpose, a life where provision serves love rather than anxiety. Your testimony will become strong when it includes both the miracle and the maintenance. Tell people what opened, but also tell them what changed in you. Tell them how you learned to rest. Tell them how you stopped hiding numbers. Tell them how you asked for help. That honesty gives others a usable hope. It shows that grace does not only create moments. Grace trains lives. You are being trained. Not punished, not delayed, trained for endurance. There will be days when the victory feels less visible. You may encounter setbacks. The old thought may return. The door may require more effort than expected. Do not call the whole testimony false. A setback is information. Use the planner. Anchor again. Remember again. Steward what remains. Obey the next step. Rest. The system brings you back to relationship instead of panic. It keeps one difficult day from becoming a complete collapse. That is how foundations work. They hold during weather. My child, the blessing is not being held together by your fear. You do not need to grip it. You need to walk faithfully within it. Open hands can still steward. They can receive guidance. They can release what no longer fits. They can serve. Clenched hands cannot grow. Release the fear that everything good must disappear. Loss has happened before, but loss is not the only story available to you. You are allowed to experience continuity. You are allowed to build slowly. You are allowed to enjoy what is present without rehearsing its ending. I am teaching you how. The next message will address what to do when a setback makes you question the entire breakthrough. I will show you how to recover quickly, separate a difficult day from a defeated identity, and return to peace without starting over emotionally. Stay near. Before you leave, write, I will steward what I receive. Then open a page and create 5 lines. Anchor. Remember, steward, obey, rest. Begin with today. What truth will hold you? What provision will you remember? What responsibility will you care for? What instruction will you follow? What will you release before sleep? This is how the miracle becomes a testimony, not through fear, not through constant emotion, through daily faithfulness. The house is being built on rock. The anchor is holding beneath the waves. The waiting season gave you strength for this responsibility. Do not return to old thinking simply because pressure has lifted. Remain in the rhythm of rest and response. Receive without gripping. Celebrate without becoming careless. Grow without forgetting me. A miracle may begin in a moment. Your testimony will continue through the life you build afterward. Walk with me. Make it last.